All right, so today we're diving into something I think a lot of you out there are going to find super useful. We're talking all about LLCs,
LLCs, yeah.
especially here in Ohio.
Right.
LLCs, limited liability companies. We're going to unpack them, what they are, why they're so cool, and even how you can get one for free
For free.
right here in Ohio.
In Ohio, yeah. So we'll break it down. What is an LLC?
Right.
Why would you want to form one, especially in Ohio? And then how do you actually get one of these things for free? Plus, we'll sprinkle in some extra, resources and things that will help y'all out there.
Yeah, and I know a lot of you listening are probably already familiar with LLCs. Maybe you even have one already.
Yeah.
But stick with us. I promise we'll get into some of the more nuanced and interesting aspects of this that you might not have considered.
Absolutely. There are some really cool benefits to forming an LLC in Ohio specifically that a lot of people aren't aware of.
Okay, so let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What is an LLC?
An LLC, as we said, stands for Limited Liability Company. And it's a legal structure for your business that kind of acts like a shield.
A shield?
Yeah, think of it like a shield, a firewall that protects your personal assets from your business liabilities.
Okay, so like if my business goes belly up,
Exactly.
my house is safe.
Exactly. Your personal car, your savings accounts, all that stuff, it stays separate from your business. So if your business incurs debt or gets sued,
Right.
those creditors, they can't come after your personal belongings.
That sounds pretty great.
It's a huge peace of mind.
So, why would someone choose to form an LLC as opposed to, I don't know, just operating as a sole proprietorship or something?
Well, there are a few reasons. First of all, as we talked about, the liability protection is huge, especially if you have, employees or significant assets.
Right.
It just adds an extra layer of security.
Okay.
Second, an LLC can actually boost your credibility in the eyes of customers, suppliers, and investors.
Really?
It makes your business look more, I guess, official.
Legitimate.
Yeah, more legitimate, and that can be really important, especially when you're just starting out.
That makes sense. What about taxes? Are there any tax benefits to forming an LLC?
Definitely. And this is where things get really interesting, especially in Ohio.
Okay, so Ohio, what's so special about forming an LLC here?
Well, Ohio has a really business-friendly tax structure in general, but LLCs here can take advantage of some specific tax perks. Like, for example, you can choose to be taxed as a partnership or a sole proprietorship, whichever is more beneficial for your situation.
Interesting.
And there's also something called the small business income deduction, which can really lower your tax burden.
Okay, so tax benefits, check. Anything else about Ohio makes it a good place to form an LLC?
Well, Ohio also has a variety of programs and incentives designed to support small businesses, including those structured as LLCs. There's funding opportunities, tax breaks, and other resources available to help you get your business off the ground.
Sounds like Ohio's really rolling out the red carpet for entrepreneurs.
They are.
But you did mention earlier something about getting an LLC for free.
Right. That's one of the coolest things about forming an LLC in Ohio. There are several online services that offer free LLC formation.
Free. Really? What's the catch?
Okay, so there's not really a catch per se. These services, they usually make money by offering additional services like registered agent service.
Registered agent.
Yeah, it's basically someone who acts as your official point of contact for all the legal and tax documents.
Oh, okay.
But these additional services, they're totally optional.
Okay.
You don't have to use them to get your free LLC.
So these free services, what do they actually, do?
Well, they handle pretty much everything. They'll help you choose a business name that complies with Ohio's rules, get your EIN number.
EI.
Yeah, that's your employer identification number.
Okay.
It's like a social security number for your business. You need it for taxes.
Right.
They also prepare and file all the necessary paperwork with the Ohio Secretary of State.
So it's like having a personal legal assistant.
Yeah, exactly. They take care of all the complicated stuff so you can focus on actually, running your business.
Sounds pretty awesome, but let's be real. There's always some fine print.
Of course. There are a few things to keep in mind.
Okay, like what?
Like, for example, in Ohio, you're required to publish a notice of your LLC formation in designated newspapers.
Wait, really? A newspaper announcement? That seems kind of old-fashioned.
It is. It's a bit of a quirk in Ohio law, but it's still a requirement. Now, the good news is that some of those free LLC services, they'll cover the cost of publication as part of their package.
Okay, that's good to know.
Another thing to keep in mind is that, forming an LLC doesn't mean you can just forget about all the legal stuff.
Right, so what kind of ongoing responsibilities do LLC owners have in Ohio?
Well, you need to maintain proper records, hold annual meetings, even if you're a single member LLC.
Right.
And you got to file an annual report with the state.
Oh, okay. So there's still some paperwork involved.
There is, but honestly, it's pretty straightforward, especially compared to some other business structures.
Okay, good to know. So let's say I'm a solopreneur working from home, just me, no employees. Do I really need an LLC?
That's a good question. And honestly, in some cases, a sole proprietorship might be enough. But even then, an LLC can offer valuable protection, especially if your business involves any kind of risk, like, I don't know, if you're working with clients or if you have expensive equipment.
Okay, so it's all about weighing the risks and benefits, right?
Exactly.
Now, what if my business takes off and I want to expand beyond Ohio? Does having an LLC in Ohio make that more complicated?
Not really. Your Ohio LLC is recognized in other states. You might need to register as a foreign LLC if you're doing business in another state.
Foreign LLC, what does that mean?
It basically just means you're letting that other state know you're doing business there. It's kind of like getting a driver's license in a new state.
Makes sense. Okay, so just to recap,
Yeah.
forming an LLC in Ohio can offer some serious perks. Liability protection, credibility boost, potential tax advantages, and even free formation services.
And let's not forget the resources and support available to Ohio businesses.
Absolutely.
Ohio really is a great place to start and grow a business.
Yeah, and we covered a lot of ground today, but there's always more to learn. So if you're thinking about forming an LLC in Ohio, do your research.
Definitely.
Talk to a lawyer or an accountant to make sure it's the right move for you.
Absolutely.
And don't be afraid to take advantage of those free resources and services available to you.
Yeah, there's no reason not to, right?
Exactly. Now, one last thing for you all to consider before we wrap things up. How could forming an LLC, specifically here in Ohio, with all its unique advantages, how could that change the trajectory of your business?
Interesting thought.
Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's